What's your idea of a bucket list vacation? How about the Dalmatian Islands by Private Yacht with side trips to Croatia and Slovenia? Intrigued? Stay with us for an extensive review of this bucket list vacation. And as always, if you find our content helpful, please like and subscribe and ring the bell to get notified each time we post a new Real Travel Expert interview. My guest today is Maria Lindsey, an independent travel consultant with Cruise and Travel Specialists. Maria lives in Anaheim, California, and has been designing custom one-of bucket list luxury vacations for clients and satisfied groups since 2005. Hi, Maria. Welcome to RTE Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. How are you today?
Great, Maria. It's wonderful to have you with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
As you know, a trend that we're beginning to see right now, after what's gone on in the last few 18 months or so, is people are looking to take that bucket list vacation. And we're seeing that more and more often. And our followers and listeners are of the same mind. Now, with that in mind, I know that you've recently returned from Croatia and Slovenia, and I was looking over the itinerary, and in my view, that ticks all the boxes of a bucket list vacation. So I was kind of hoping that you could give our viewers and listeners a bit of a review of how your vacation went and learn all about it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I gathered up friends, some that have traveled with us before and some that have not. I like to escort the groups. My husband, of course, tags along. Okay. And so we had 8 couples. We had a single client also. All of us knew each other, though some did not know others in the group. You know, we knew everybody, though, that was going on the trip. Okay. So I wanted to do a yacht cruise that Beth, the owner of our agency, had done before on the Dalmatian Coast in Croatia. So I knew that was going to be the highlight, you know, the center point of the trip. So I planned that. I did so with Katarina, dealt with them directly. They're a European company that specializes in cruises, yacht cruises in that Dalmatian area. In addition to that, I've always enjoyed doing a pre and a post land tour with any of my cruises, because if you're there, you're there. It takes, you know, a lot of time to get to Europe. It costs money, and why not spend time on land experiencing these beautiful places? We flew from 3 different locations in the U.S., the total group. Out of our group of 17, all of us but 4 individuals did go in business class, which was really, really nice, really a treat.
Yeah, you would probably arrive more rested flying.
Absolutely. Oh, there's just no comparison. And since most of us were late 50s and older, we needed that bed to relax and to, you know, feel revived and good when we got there. We arrived in Split, and Split is where the yacht was also going to pick us up, and did 2 nights there. I worked with a ground land operator called Roundabout Tours. Okay. She in particular is based out of Slovenia, and in all honesty, I couldn't have done this without her. She was amazing. So we spent 2 nights in Split at a wonderful hotel, the Coronaro. They had a rooftop bar. So our first night, as people were coming in, we all met up there. I ordered a dinner for us in advance for the group of 17. And wow, what a way to start a trip with a sunset, you know, in Split on a beautiful rooftop bar. It was really fabulous. So we spent 2 nights there. And the following day, we all did a private tour by a gentleman that had his master's degree in history at the Diocletian Palace, which if you've never been there, this is what really started the town of Split. This was a Roman emperor, one of the last Roman emperors actually, that retired and built a palace there for himself because he was from that area. So the tour lasted about an hour and a half. It was fantastic because the man really knew his stuff, knew his history. And we had some people that had done their homework in advance and they wanted a good educational tour. So we did that. We all went out and had lunch on our own, did our own thing. And then in the afternoon, we did a tuk-tuk tour. And those are a lot of fun. Those city tours provide a view of cities in a vehicle that is open, that everybody can participate in versus just a walking. It's just a really wonderful way. So we did that. And that evening, we all got together and had dinner at a wonderful restaurant in Split that was outdoors. I mean, it was just magical. And the next day, I left it open. That was the day we were going to embark on the yacht, on the Katarina yacht. And so we had the morning, and I said, people, you can do whatever you want. I gave them some options. I had some people that went kayaking along the coast. They loved it. Myself, my husband, and some of our other passengers, we did a bike tour, which was a lot of fun on e-bikes. And then some other people just walked around town and enjoyed the scenery. You know, it was just a really good day. So they picked us up at the hotel. Katarina provided a bus for us, took us over to the yacht, and the cruise began. And first and foremost, we were impressed, first of all, with the yacht. It was incredible. Our cabins were really nice. They were spacious. There was enough room to put all our luggage and, you know, all our goodies in. And believe me, this group came with a lot of luggage.
So Maria, on the yacht, how many people were on board? Was it just you?
No, well, no, you know, there were 17 of us.
Right.
The yacht holds 38 passengers.
Okay.
And so there were only 3 other couples, so a total of 23 people.
So it's just like a private
It
voyage.
really was. And we blended in beautifully with the other 3 couples. They were a lot of fun. They kind of became part of our group.
Right.
You know, we were a force to reckon with. So, you know, when in Rome. Anyway, so that's when the yacht cruise started. You know, it was wonderful. It took us to a variety of different islands.
Right.
That are in that area that are just beautiful. I've been to Greece, reminded me a lot of Greece, though the architecture and the food was really more Italian in style, because this area was dominated by the Venetians for over 400 years.
I would expect now with the yacht, it's not a large ship. You were able to get into some pretty nice boutique ports.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, ports that none of the big ships go to, which is wonderful because we never had crowds.
Right.
There were other yachts like ours, but not that many. But, you know, I would say never were there more than maybe 8 yachts similar to ours in the ports, which, you know, made it delightful.
Speaking of COVID, what was it like? You know, you're in Europe, you know, were you masking every day? Or I'm sure our viewers and listeners would be interested to know, like, were you wearing masks every day? What was the protocols?
You know, all of us were vaccinated twice, and some of us 3 times. So we all felt safe. Okay.
Right, for sure.
When we were in Split, I was surprised that in Split, outdoors, hardly anybody wore a mask. So that wasn't really an issue. They did require it of us in the hotel.
Okay.
Which I thought was good. And a lot of the shops also required it, and some of the restaurants, you know, going in. But, you know, once you're in there, of course, you're not going to wear a mask. So really it felt safe.
Yeah. So really not that intrusive then.
No, not at all.
Didn't impact the vacation.
No. Yeah, it felt really good. On the ship, we didn't have to wear masks. Again, everybody was vaccinated or was required to test negative before they went on the yacht. There was never any issues at all while we were on the yacht, nor when we were on the islands. I think the highlights of the cruise for us was visiting Dubrovnik. It's not an island, but it's a very famous port, made so especially by the series Game of Thrones. And from what, you know, I had read, it can get very, very crowded because it's become so popular. A lot of the big cruise ships go there. We had a wonderful experience there, being able to walk around. We did a walking city tour, had dinner there. The ship docked there and stayed there overnight, which gave us a cool opportunity to spend more time there than we would have otherwise. That was a great place to visit. And the other place that I really liked, that we really enjoyed, was Cortula. And Cortula is another island that has very strong Italian influence. We had a great guide organized by Katarina, which was great because they did a phenomenal job.
And the guides are so important on this kind of a trip because
Absolutely. They know their history. They're all licensed. And one of the things I loved about this cruise is that 3 of the nights we were not given dinner on the yacht. We were off on our own. So our friend Dominic did a phenomenal job finding a place for us there in Cortula. He found a restaurant that's also a winery outside of town in a village and had been communicating with them. They picked us up by bus. We were driven there. We were given a tour of the village and some history on the village. And then we ended up at the restaurant winery, and the owner greeted us with drinks, wine, of course. We had his wife give us pasta making demonstration, and we had a phenomenal Croatian dinner. It was the best. Everybody was just in awe. While we're in there having a great time thinking, wow, now this is really the way the locals live. Lo and behold, the captain of our yacht comes in with his friends to eat there. So we did pick the right spot, that's for sure. So anyway, those were kind of the highlights of the yacht. Couldn't ask for better staff. They went beyond the extra mile to really accommodate us. Really a good experience. Anyway, and that dinner with I have to say it was about 50 euros per person, but that included being picked up and driven to the village, the tour in the village, the food with some wine, again, the trip back to Cortula. So what a deal. I mean, it's just phenomenal deals that are going on right now in places like Croatia and Slovenia.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was. So we ended our 7-night yacht cruise. We were all in tears hugging the staff because, we had just such an incredible time. But the second part of the journey began, and we were picked up by a bus, and we were driven to Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. And I had known about the Plitvice National Park. That's a park there in Croatia that is known for its beautiful lakes and waterfalls. I had not incorporated it into the trip thinking it would be too much. But, we all started talking about it, and everybody kept saying, you've got to go, you've got to go. So
Croatia.
Yeah. So on our way to Zagreb, and this is why my hat goes off to these incredible destination specialists, I called Tasha and I said, can you do it? Can you get us in, even though it's going to be a long day? And she said, absolutely. It's a little bit out of the way, but not much. So on the way to Zagreb, we went there and we did a 3-hour walk through this place.
Wow.
And I can't put it into words how beautiful it is. The water was aqua colored, mostly because most lake bottoms are muddy.
Yeah.
And in this case, this area is known for its limestone. The lake bottoms were all made of limestone, which meant that they're white. So they reflected the colors in the sky. And I can't describe how beautiful this place was. The waterfalls, the lakes. Yeah, we were all very, very happy that we took that detour and did that on the way to Zagreb. Zagreb was a great city to wander about. Typical city, not as charming as some of the small villages. The following day, we did a walking foodie tour, all 17 of us. We loved our guide, Gabby. She was wonderful. She was, again, coordinated by Roundabout Tours there. Did a fun walking tour that day. We ate so much that we had to cancel our dinner reservations that night. We just couldn't eat anymore, between the wine and the food. And, everybody just kind of pooped out that night. And then the day after, Gabby came and picked us up, and we did a wine tasting tour in their local wine region there outside of Zagreb, which was beautiful. I've been to a lot of wine regions. I live in California, but I have to say that it was just great. It was really neat to taste these wines. You think of Croatian wines, and coming from a place like California where we have excellent wines, you're wondering, are they going to be any good? Well, they were excellent. So that was a really, really fun afternoon. I'd say that was probably about 3/4 of the day. And that night we had dinner again in Zagreb. So then we have to go to Ljubljana. It was about not more than a 3-hour drive, including stopping at the border. Ljubljana is charming. It is just such a beautiful little city. I was really impressed with the architecture there, how different it was from Croatia as a country. Slovenia only has about 2 million inhabitants, but it was incredible. It reminded me of Austria, whereas Croatia reminded me more of the more Mediterranean countries. We did 4 nights there. I had picked some incredible, nice restaurants to go to, and while we were there, we did a walking city tour, which was a lot of fun. We went to Lake Bled. Lake Bled is in what they call the Julian Alps, outside of Ljubljana. It takes about an hour to get there. And the Julian Alps look like the Austrian Alps, but a
Right.
smaller version.
Yeah.
And the lake is beautiful. It has a castle on a rock on the hillside that's incredible. We went there first and toured the castle, and then we came down and we took one of the traditional boats that go back for, probably centuries there in that area that are still family owned and operated, that took us to the actual little lake, not the lake, but the little island on Lake Bled, where there's an old church and a castle. And that was a lot of fun. We got to see some incredible views from there, including Tito's home. He was the big,
dictator.
The dictator there that people had mixed feelings about, we found out, but it is what it is. And then after we did that, they took us over and treated us to the most delicious pastry I think I've ever had, because it was so light and airy, and it was a pastry that is known to be very popular in that area. They have bakeries that serve it everywhere. And then in the afternoon, we did the Gorge. Again, another place that was just amazing. It's this river that has this like canyon-like area. It's a gorge, and it's amazing how they do all these walking places for people to walk and see these things and not have to hike them. That was amazing too. I have to say though that I think that if I did it again, and I recommend that take into account your crowd, okay,
Right.
and not do so much. Yeah.
So all in all, it was pretty active, obviously.
It was a very active trip. I mean, I had friends telling me, Maria, can you give us a free day in between on the next one? But nobody regretted it, because we would have really hated ourselves had we not gone to these places.
Like, nobody's going to regret it, because you're on pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Exactly. So, we did that, and this place was incredible. We went to the caves that they're famous for there. And
Ljubljana?
Yes, outside of Ljubljana. Yeah. They are like nothing we've ever seen. And again, our friend that is a geologist was just in awe. The magnitude, the size of these caves inside, and the way they had set up walking, area so that everybody could walk through it. It took about an hour and a half to walk through it. We had a tram that took us into the cave. Then we walked it for about an hour and a half, and a tram that took us out. And one of my passengers is a retired Disney executive.
Okay.
We kept singing "It's a Small, Small World," going in, because it felt like we were in Disneyland.
Well, I get that. You could feel like that.
It was amazing, but one of those places that we do not regret doing at all.
Right
on. So the last day was free, which was good. Had a great dinner the last night that we were there, in a very old Slovenian family restaurant. Lots and lots of fun. Oh, and then I want to say too that the U.S. required us to be COVID tested and to prove negative 72 hours before returning.
Okay.
I was so happy that my tour guide and the people at the hotel coordinated a medical group to come in, a company to come in, and at 8:30 in the morning, they tested us all. It was one of the rapid tests. It cost us 20 euros a person to do, so very reasonable. Yeah. And, within an hour, we all had our results, and it didn't take any time out of our day or, having to go over to a clinic or anything like that. And we all, tested negative. So we were, good to go on our return. So, that's kind of the trip in a nutshell. I thought it was wonderful. I love traveling to countries in Europe that some people don't travel to, that just aren't as popular, because they're just so off the beaten path and so enriching and fun to visit.
The trip sounds fantastic. How did you, when you package something like this together, you're doing it with multiple suppliers. How much of a chore is that? Is that something that could the average person handle that themselves, or do you recommend the services of a real travel expert such as yourself?
Oh, no. This was a group tour. To have been able to do everything we did, you had to have X amount of people. Yeah. I don't think that anybody on their own could do this. It would cost a lot more money.
Okay.
Without the help of the Katarina people, Centrav with the airfare, people at Roundabout Travel, just couldn't do it. Yeah. You just can't do this.
So basically the way it works is you've got these three really great suppliers that do
Yes.
kind of the heavy lifting, and then your job is to coordinate it.
Yes. And I have to tell you that the land specialist, Tatsia, we were emailing each other almost every day for
Right.
the 3 months before the trip. She was invaluable to me. I highly recommend that people use these destination specialists that we have because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They really, really help us travel agents put together incredible trips.
Right. Make you look good.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Well, this is absolutely wonderful. If folks wanted to find out more information about a trip like this, Maria, or a possible group, what's the best way to get hold of you?
Well, they can call me. My work number is 714-357-0223.
Okay.
Leave me a message if I don't pick up. Or they can email me, and my email address is Maria, Maria, at cruiseholidays.com. We spell cruise, though, Cruz as in zebra, holidays with an S at the end.com. And I have to also say that the owner of our agency, Beth Schulberg, who's a great friend of mine, we've known each other for 40 years. Okay,
Right.
We're besties. Really is like my mentor because we've traveled together many times, but she had done Croatia and done Slovenia before this and had said to me, you have to take your group. They're going to love this.
Yeah.
The last group I put together was in Portugal and did something very similar to this. And Portugal, again, that's another gem in Europe that I highly, highly recommend. But Beth really, really helped tremendously with this.
Well, that's wonderful. I'll leave those links in the description for folks that are looking to reach
Great.
out to you or Beth.
Great. And when you get ready to go to Croatia, you give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help you,
Well,
Ken.
that sounds like a plan.
So, just give me a call. This is my specialty, and this is what I really love doing is putting these trips together for everybody.
Where are you off to next?
Oh, gosh. I've got 3 trips to Europe again.
Okay.
In April, I'm doing Bordeaux. I've got a small group doing that. Beth has a group. So we're doing this together. So we're going to do Bordeaux. It's a cruise with Alma Waterways.
Okay.
And if you like red wine, that's the place to go. So we're doing that. And then I have a very small group, and we're going to do parts of northern Spain, San Sebastian, Bilbao, the cruise. And then afterwards, I'm doing a road trip, the Loire Valley, and then also to Normandy to go see our, American World War II sites there, something I've always wanted to do.
Wonderful.
So that's in April. And then in July, I've been asked by Signature, which I'm very grateful for, to escort a Baltic cruise on Azamara.
Okay.
And that's Copenhagen back to Stockholm. My husband and I are going to be doing that. So we've already got 33 people signed up for it through Signature. And I'm just starting to advertise it to our friends and my clients. So looking forward to that. I've never been to that part of the world. And I'm doing a road trip with a small group to Sicily. I love Italy. So we're going to do a week in Sicily, and then we're going to do the boot and do some wine touring up maybe in the Umbria area in September of next year. So those are the big 3 trips for next year.
My goodness. I haven't been to the Baltic either.
Yeah. Join me.
We're going to have to if I don't get a chance to go with you, we're going to have you back so you can regale us with all your adventures in the Baltic.
Okay, I'd be happy to do that. I really would. Okay. All right.
So with that, Maria, I'm going to wish you smooth sailing and happy travels on all your future adventures. And I hope to see you on a Lido deck real soon.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ken. I've really enjoyed doing this.
All right.
I love sharing my love of travel and all these beautiful places in the world. You stay safe and be healthy, okay?
All right. Take care, Maria.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that about wraps things up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Maria Lindsey of Cruise and Travel Specialists. If you'd like to reach Maria, I will leave her contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach us, send us an email to questions@realtravelexperts. Leave us a comment. We always respond. Or visit our website, realtravelexperts.com. And as always, folks, if you enjoyed this content, a like, subscribe, and a ring of the bell is certainly appreciated and helps us spread the word. So until next time, happy travels.